Now, the National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi is proposing radical changes in the composition of independent commissioners, saying commissioners do nothing apart from wasting taxpayers' money. Speaking during a breakfast meeting with editors from across the media houses, Muturi said commissions have become institutions where tribal representation is giving emphasis rather than the outcome of their work. The speaker singled out the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission as one institution where he does not understand what the commissioners do day in, day out.
A country of 40 million people, 9 commissioners, every day waking up pretending to be able to work. Which work, Masharia? Which work? I mean, every day you are dealing with policy. When is this policy going to be implemented? Why don't you allow those that are supposed to implement? A country like India with 1.2 billion people, their electoral management body has 3 or 5 commissioners. Go to South Africa, go to Britain. So what is this that we think that every commission we must have 9, you know, some magical figure, 9. What are they doing? So we have actually created a problem because every commissioner thinks that they are there to represent a particular region. One of these days I would want you to give us a shot of the commissioners arriving to go to work on Monday. And there is no election, there is no by-election. And just ask the question, okay, so you are coming to work on Monday. So what are do you have a meeting of the commission? No. So since you don't have a meeting of the commission, what are you doing? Is it possible we can ask these questions?
Makueni County Governor Professor Kivutha Kibwana is currently testifying to the Commission of Inquiry on dissolution of Makueni County. The hearing is taking place at Wote, from where our reporter Sam Ogena now joins us by way of phone for an update. Ogena, good afternoon. Now, the proceedings began very early this morning. What has transpired so far?
Well, the governor has been in the witness stand since 8 in the morning, taking questions on corruption allegations leveled against the county government. And yes, indeed, he's confirmed that indeed the county government of Makueni was corrupt, that indeed a few of his officers were actually involved in the corruption syndicate, singling out the tree planting exercise that was supposed to cost $7 million that was budgeted for, but it overshot to the region of 47 million. And as such, he says that indeed the county government of Makueni left an internal auditor to see the loopholes and actually nip the exercise in the bud, as it were. And he says that he took action, actually going to the Anti-Corruption Commission, inviting the Criminal Investigations Department just to do an audit of all the process. Yes, it is.
Ogena, we can't quite hear you clearly. Let us try and see if we can have a reconnection with you. But in the meantime, let's move on to other news making headlines. We'll be getting back to Ogena, who's in Makueni, for an update. But for now, Kenya National Union of Nurses has given both the national and the county government up to 1st of July to fulfill their collective bargaining agreement, failure to which they will mobilize all the nurses across the country to go on strike from 1st of August. The Nurses Union Deputy Secretary General Maurice Odhiambo pointed out 16 counties that include Kisumu, Embu, Narok, Uasin Gishu as the worst employers.
We want them to get their salaries in time. We want them not to suffer arbitrary deductions in their salaries. We want our deductions for loan payments to be done in time and efficiently. So that is why we are saying the county governments have failed.
People's salaries have been taking quite a long before they are paid. That our end man now is between 10 and 15. Which has never been happening before the county governments came into being.
Now, though noble, the free health services are yet to be achieved according to the Wananchi. The healthcare sector is facing enormous challenges at the grassroots level, which are yet to be fixed. In Mombasa, residents say access to health services has improved, but there is a major challenge in the provision of resources.
Tangu asubuhi nilikuja hospitali lakini nimepata daktari. Kuona daktari ni bure lakini hakuna dawa. Kuanzia asubuhi mpaka saa hii sijapata dawa na nimeketi mpaka saa hii jioni. Serikali kuu ni bure kabisa. Hakuna haja kusema ati watu wanatibiwa bure na hakuna kitu cha bure. Kuona daktari ni bure, dawa hakuna.
Ni katika hii hospitali hii ni mara yangu ya 3 kukuja hapa. Sijapata dawa hata moja. Nikikuja ni kuandikiwa dawa nikanunua, hata kuna zingine nimeandikiwa sijazipata kwa sababu siko gali na hizi hospitali yetu ya serikali haina madawa. Sasa shida ni hiyo hiyo.
Well, to a different scenario in Bomet County, where local residents have a reason to smile. A population of over 1 million can now access a medical facility in Longisa, the only county hospital situated 30 kilometers from Bomet town. According to County Medical Director for Health, Dr. Bernard Sowek, the county government has highly boosted services in all the health facilities within the county. Dr. Sowek says so far more than 30 doctors have been employed by the county government, while the past management had only 3 doctors. However, the lease of ambulances has also helped the needy in rural parts of Bomet.
Admission is over 150%. When we began with admission rate of less than 50%. So the service have improved. We have the supplies, the oxygen is there, water is there 24 hours, and our patients are getting good service.
What we've gotten, for example, we had 7 doctors before devolution. We now currently have 33 doctors. Before we had ambulance services using the old GOK ambulances, which were prone to breakdown, sometimes lack of fuel, sometimes lack of spare parts. But now we have a fully functional referral system, which has now referred more than 10,000 patients.
Still in matters health, Busia County is yet to receive medical equipment from the national government 2 months after the official signing by the county government. The governor, Sospita Ojaomong, says that he, like other governors, is not against the national government's efforts, but wants Kenyans to get value for their money. He further added that Busia County was understaffed and lacked the specialized capacity to maintain the new equipment. He was speaking as he received a courtesy call from the Standard Group CEO, Sam Shole.
That's okay. That's good. Thank you so much. The golf tournament, this was the one in Kakamega? Yes. Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Government is that they don't know the nature of this equipment they are taking. They're just forced to sign the last page of the MOU. So many other things are hidden there. The cost of maintaining this equipment might be bigger than even the budgets of some counties. We want to have a technical evaluation. What we are insisting is in law. We wanted to have a technical evaluation of this equipment, also to do a financial evaluation so that we know exactly how much did they cost.
Well, the National Assembly is set to reconvene this afternoon after a month-long recess. The members will begin with the vetting of President Uhuru Kenyatta's nominee to the cabinet, Eugene Wamalwa, as the Minister for Water and Irrigation, and Dr. Monica Juma as Secretary to the Cabinet. We now have our senior reporter Patrick Amimo at Parliament Buildings, where the vetting is taking place. Amimo, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Bring us up to speed with what took place in the morning.
Thank you indeed. The appointees, the cabinet appointees, which were made by the appointments which were made by President Uhuru Kenyatta have been vetted today, and we've had Eugene Wamalwa as to take the position of Cabinet Secretary for Water and Irrigation, and Dr. Monica Juma elected to be the Secretary to Cabinet, having because presently she's serving as the Principal Secretary for Interior. So during the vetting process for Dr. Monica Juma, members took issue with the letter she wrote last October. It's asking members of Parliament, that the National Assembly and Senate, not to visit her office ostensibly to seek favors of transfers for security officers. Members thought that the letter was in bad faith, and it was like an indication that they were being barred from visiting our office. But Dr. Juma has clarified, saying that the letter was just meant to give some assurance to members of Parliament about her new position, because she felt that most MPs were not sure whether she will be discharged with that ministry. So she said she wrote the letter to assure members of Parliament that she will work according to the law and ensure that members of security officers posted in any part of the country, the procedure is done according to the law. So that was the issue that members looked at, and she also told them that on the role of the Secretary to the Cabinet, it sees that position not as a super Cabinet Secretary, but her role there will be to coordinate different functions at different ministries and ensure that the government agenda is adhered to the letter.
Patrick, maybe finally, Wamala's appointment, you've spoken of Juma, but Wamala's appointment comes at a time when the Jubilee government is seemingly struggling with the implementation of its million-acre irrigation scheme. Is this one of the things that was going to be in focus in the vetting?
The issue did not come out very clearly, but you see, these ministries, having been hived off from that of environment, I think the government wanted to see more input on that, on areas of irrigation and water, especially to realize its promise of the 1 million acre scheme. But the matter did not come out clearly during the vetting process, which in fact there was no member of the public who had petitioned Eugene Wamalwa's appointment to that position. So maybe for that there are not many issues coming from Wamalwa's vetting, which means probably it's up to the members of Parliament to debate and see whether he fits the position or not.
All right, Patrick Amemo, thank you very much for that update. Is coming to us by way of phone from Parliament Buildings, bringing us up to speed with the vetting of Eugene Wamalwa and Monica Juma. Let's move on to other news. Did you know that public participation in decision-making is a basic right, and that it also is a driver of devolution? Well, in Vihiga County, ordinary citizens take part in public meetings 3 times a year and hold county officials to account. The Quarters Forum, held yesterday and currently ongoing, allowed citizens to ask critical questions about agriculture, early childhood education and the fate of industries. The sessions, moderated by the County Governor Moses Akaranga, are aimed at delivering on devolution.
Inaendeshwa kwa njia gani? Kwa sababu jambo la kwamba, how do you locate the beneficiaries of these funds?
Katiba inapeana nafasi kila mtu kuhusishwa. Na walemavu sisi ni watu, inafaa tuhusishwe.
To give you assurance that we as Standard Group, we support counties. What I have listened today here is truly transformational.
Walemavu wangapi wamefaidika? Swali kama hilo, kwa sababu katiba yetu inataka kila mmoja wetu afaidike.
Property of unknown value has been destroyed after a fire broke out and razed down one dormitory of Chebisas Boys High School in Uasin Gishu County. 128 students have been left without shelter after the incident, where there were reports or no reports of injuries. Uasin Gishu County Director of Education Rebecca Butalanyi met the school management after the incident and said the students were attending their morning preps when the fire broke out. Thank God there were no injuries. Well, that story brings us to our commercial break. Let's take that break to pay the bills, but we'll be back with more news. Welcome back. Now, Kenya Pipeline Corporation is partnering with local banks to partly fund the upgrade of its pipeline networks to meet market demand. The two projects, estimated to cost a total of 48 billion shillings, will enable the corporation move 5.9 billion litres of products. The first project will see KPC replace its 450-kilometre pipeline from the port of Mombasa to Nairobi with a new 12-inch pipeline at a cost of 43 billion Kenyan shillings. This project will be funded through a soft loan from local banks, among them Standard Chartered, CFC Stanbic, Cooperative Bank, Citibank and CBA. The corporation is also fully funding another 5 billion 122-kilometre long oil pipeline from Nakuru to Kisumu, with 50% of the project almost complete. The projects will enable the pipeline operator meet Kenya's national demand for petroleum products that currently stands at about 4.4 billion litres.
Own money, and one is through the negotiation of a bank loan. Within this month, the negotiations for the bank loan will be completed, done on the strength of KPC's balance sheet, not being reliant on a government guarantee. Not being reliant.
To news across the borders, and Ugandans call them the rap otters, a youth program of hip-hop artists turned journalists rapping the headlines. Newsbeat makes a catchy change from a standard news bulletin where a youth team rap the headlines. Here's more.
Ugandans call them reporters, a youth program of hip-hop artists turned journalists, rapping the headlines.
Seeking an end to third world debt and poverty, or ACON, helping to light up Africa with electricity, put to good use, nothing beats the power of celebrity.
Hearing the news in hip-hop may sound strange, but in Uganda, where the press faces censorship pressures and the country's huge youth population often take little interest in current affairs, this program has become a hit.
We are rappers already, and being that even through our music we spread the message, and the kind of news we wanted to do was the educative, entertaining, political kind of stuff. So being that we are rappers, we decided to make it a rap format kind of news.
Newsbeat, screened in both English and the local language Luganda on the popular channel NTV, launched last year. Each 5-minute episode covers local, regional, and international news. Nothing is off limits, and the program has reported stories on Uganda's anti-pornography laws, the political situation in Ukraine, and Ebola updates from West Africa.
Mostly it has also inspired the youth to watch the news, because of the beat and the rap, so it doesn't make them, bored, and they're there, and they also get the education out of it.
Ugandan activists have repeatedly warned that press freedoms in this East African country are rapidly shrinking. Last October, one journalist was ordered to pay damages or face jail after accusing a government official of corruption, and there have been other similar cases. But as dust settles over Uganda's capital, a crowd gathers around a public TV to follow the beat.
Tandika okugiraba okula lwenamanya nti ebeerako abantu ab'enjawulo kuba nakitegere nti egenda baako geniero ng'ayogera ku nsonga z'abantu ezibakwatako ngafe abavubuka nenjiraba neeyongera okuba nga njaagadde era ne kati ndi mwetegefu okwongera genda mu maaso n'ogiraba
Newsbeat is so far sidestepping the censors and reaching out to new audiences with its unique blend of rhyme and reason.
Well, it's time to go to sports. An interesting way to do news. Maybe we should adopt that here. Moving on to some sport, like I wrapped there. Western Stima goalkeeper Gabriel Andika is the winner of Sport Pesa Footballer of the Month award for May. The 22-year-old scooped the May accolade ahead of prolific Mathare United midfielder Eric Johanna in a tight contest decided by sport writers poll. Andika played in all of Stima's matches, making excellent saves as the Kakamega-based side held 13-time Kenyan Premier League champions Gor Mahia to a goalless draw at Moi Stadium, Kisumu. He was again the star man for his side in a 2-0 victory over the second most successful club in Kenya, AFC Leopards. The Stima custodian, who helped his club to 5th place at the end of the first leg, prevailed in a runoff poll with Johanna after the duo made the shortlist. In collecting the gong, Andika became the 3rd beneficiary of the award.
Mchezaji ni playing time na mimi uamini pal niko safe juu napewa kila kitu na deserve kucheza kufanya nini. That's why sina haraka kukimbilia mahali pengine. Na bado pia age bado inaniallow nike hapa hizi. Ningefurahia sana nikichezea national team. Hiyo ndio kitu next inataka ni labda nikiperform vyema wakiniona waniite nipate kuperform pia nicheze pia national team nione venye pia huko iko.
And finally, Trinidad and Tobago's Center of Excellence, a $22.5 million center, which includes a stadium, a practice pitch, a swimming complex, a hotel, and sprawling conference facilities, today hosts more weddings and conventions than marches, a symbol of the shady dealings of fallen executive Jack Warner. The Center of Excellence was supposed to train a new generation of footballers from around the Caribbean. The multi-million center ended up registered as belonging to Warner personally instead of the Confederation of North Central America and Caribbean Association of Football, whose presidency the Trinidadian politician held at the time. Despite the giant football complete with CONCACAF logo that sits atop a pedestal near the entrance, the pastel-colored complex today does lots of non-football business, allegedly for the personal profit of Warner, who is also a former FIFA vice president. A multi-use stadium, that is. Well, that's where we wind up KTN Newsdesk. Thank you very much for watching. I now take you to the Strathmore University, whereby the president is attending the Youth Entrepreneurship Forum. I take you there for that very interesting forum with Joy Dorin Bira.